In fiction, canon is the material accepted as part of the story in an individual fictional universe. It is often contrasted with, or used as the basis for, works of fan fiction. The term canon can be used either as a noun, referring to the original work from which the fan fiction author borrows, or as an adjective to describe whether or not certain elements are accepted as authoritative parts of the fictional universe. Fan fiction would be described as non-canon, or fanon, while an event from the official source material would be canon. The alternative terms mythology and continuity are often used, with the former being especially to refer to a richly detailed fictional canon requiring a large degree of suspension of disbelief. Origin: the use of the word canon in reference to a set of texts derives from biblical canon, the set of books regarded as scripture, as contrasted with non-canonical apocrypha. The term was first used by analogy in the context of fiction to refer to the Sherlock Holmes stories and novels, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Ronald Knox used the term in a 1911 essay Studies in the Literature of Sherlock Holmes to distinguish Doyle's works from subsequent pastiches by other authors. It has subsequently been applied to many media franchises. Among these are science fiction and fantasy franchises such as Star Trek, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Halo, Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, BioShock, Doctor Who, Middle-earth, A Song of Ice and Fire, the Narnia series, The Dark Tower books, and Dinotopia, in which many stories have been told in different media, some of which may contradict or appear to contradict each other. Canonicity: when there are multiple official works or original media, the question of what is and what is not canonical can be unclear. This is resolved either by explicitly excluding certain media from the status of canon, by assigning different levels of canonicity to different media, by considering different but licensed media treatments official within their own continuities but not across them, or not resolved at all. The use of canon is of particular importance with regard to reboots or reimaginings of established franchises, such as the 2009 Star Trek film, because of the ways in which it influences the viewer experience. The official Star Trek website describes Star Trek canon as the events that take place within the live-action episodes and movies. Events, characters and storylines from tie-in novels, comic books, video games and Star Trek, the animated series are explicitly excluded from the Star Trek canon, but the site notes that elements from these sources have been subsequently introduced in the television series, and says that canon is not something set in stone. One example of a non-canonical element that later became canonical in the Star Trek universe was the name Tiberius becoming the official middle name of Enterprise Captain James T. Kirk. The name was introduced in the Star Trek animated series, and was later added into the official biography of the character by its mention in the live-action film Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. The Star Wars canon originally existed on several levels. The highest level was the original Star Wars films, and statements by George Lucas. Tie-in fiction from the expanded universe had a different level of canonicity. The complex system is maintained by Leland Chee, a Lucasfilm employee. The makers of Doctor Who have generally avoided making pronouncements about canonicity, with Russell T. Davies explaining that he does not think about the concept for the Doctor Who TV series or its spin-offs. Fanon: fan fiction is almost never regarded as canonical. However, certain ideas may become influential or widely accepted within fan communities, who refer to such ideas as fanon, a portmanteau of fan and canon. Fanon is a common feature in large franchises and fictional universes where there are many canon and non-canon works, as in the Star Trek universe. See also, reset button technique, alternative universe, continuity, expanded universe, fictional universe, parallel universe. Examples: Buffyverse canon, Firefly, Star Trek canon, Star Wars canon, Doctor Who, canon of Sherlock Holmes, Middle-earth canon, A Song of Ice and Fire, Narnia, The Dark Tower, Dinotopia, Halo, Fallout, Mass Effect, BioShock. References. Sources: Rebecca Black, Digital Design, English Language Learners and Reader Reviews in Online Fiction, in A New Literacies Sampler, PA 126, Parrish, Julie J. Inventing a Universe. Reading and writing Internet fan fiction. Cite Searx, 10.1.1.93.419. Urbanski, Heather. The Science Fiction Reboot, Canon, Innovation and Fandom in Refashioned Franchises. Jefferson, North Carolina, McFarland. ISBN 978-0-7864-6509-5.